Schwarz, who kicked 9 goals last week against the Sydney Swans. So we get underway at the MCG, and Harry Madden wins the first hit out. It comes underfoot, goes to Brett Lovett. A high ball out of the centre square. Silvani from behind Lyon. What a match-up that will be. Silvani's been in great touch. Kicks that perfectly. It bounces just inside the line. Good afternoon, Peter McKenna.
Good afternoon, Drew. Good afternoon, Terry. And what a match-up, as you said. As we have a look at the temperature, expected maximum 21 and currently 20. A beautiful day for football. Jason Norris tried to get his boot to it. Socket off the ground. That was by Greg Williams. The Williams, already he's got another touch as he gets it to Andrew McKay, the former South Australian, brings it in towards half forward. Hopgood races at the ball. That was a good attempt. They dive on top of it, and I'm sure the umpire will bounce this one in the centre of the ground. Interesting, Terry, looking at there, Matthew Hogg picking up a danger play for Melbourne in Todd Viney.
Yes, he has, and some of the other matchups, we have Peter Dean with David Schwarz at centre-half back, Andrew McKay and Glenn Lovett at half-forward, and Sexton and Pike down in the goal square.
Here's Greg Williams again, going defensively, finds Christou near the centre circle. Kicked by Ange Christou. Not great distance, a lot of height, to the 50. Spalding in front, no mark. Tingay gives the hand pass away to Hannah. Pops the hand pass over the top. Here's Spalding with a bit of a fumble. And the Melbourne defence tied up. And we'll have the ball up about 40 metres out.
Yes, a costly fumble because they had loose players too.
They did, and Greg Williams some early touches. Andrew Obbs is his direct opponent, in contrast to Brett Lovett taking him on the last 2 occasions.
So the bounce, Spalding doing the ruck work. Hand passes from Dyson. He's looking out for Hopgood, who kicks it away from Bond. Bond's got a lot of pace, so he races out to the half-forward line, gives a hand pass back. Here's Kurtafini's bringing it back in front of goal. Curtahan at the back. No mark. Fraser Brown into an open goal for a goal. Great start for the Blues. First blood, a goal kicked by Fraser Brown.
And Fraser Brown now playing at half-forward, probably made his name as a wingman, but has slotted into the half-forward flank with the introduction of Koutafidis and Hannah to the wings for the Carlton side. 7 goals 2 weeks ago against Richmond. Missed last week's game, and a perfect start for him and for his team.
First blood to the Blues. Madden gets it underfoot again. Williams bowled over, and the umpire comes in and will ball it up. The umpires today, David Howlett, Brian Sheehan and Brett Allen. Brett Allen doing his first final in his 3rd season. They've met once this year. Carlton won 18-13 to 13-16. In fact, they've won their last 3 meetings over the last 3 years. Phoebe, Matthew, out of the centre square. McKay is there. Glenn Lovett, Silvani, straight ahead football. Well done by Stephen Silvani. Up at centre wing, chance for Dyson. Early jitters from some players here. Garry Lyon goes wide to Tingay. Kick partly smothered. Might have been a free kick to Phoebe. Grabbed by Mitchell. Christou, centering kick. Koutafidi straight up the centre of the ground. Curtahan leads away from White. Spalding in front of him. They spoil each other, the 2 Carlton forwards. Grabbed by Neitz.
Yes, I thought Spalding got in the way of Curtahan, who might have marked
Curtahan
that.
has the right of way, coming straight onto the ball from behind the plate. You should not run backwards to mark. You should only go forward. Spalding was in the wrong position then.
Well, there's the bench. James Cook and Adrian Whitehead on the bench. It's Tony Lynn there. Yep. Now it's tapped further afield. Koutafidis again up towards half forward. Curtahan caught behind the Demons defence worker. Good tackle, Tommy Alvin. A chance for Alvin as he hooked it out, but Dyson's good enough to go and get it and hook it back towards the half-back line. And it looks like Norwich waiting underneath that. It is. And Barry Mitchell waiting on the mark.
Yes, Norwich has been paired up with Mitchell for the afternoon.
Carlton, a goal to nothing. That ball's just over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in. Fantastic conditions here for the start of finals this weekend. Carlton favourite 9-4 on. Melbourne just snuck into the final 8 by winning their last game. Going into the last round, they were 9th.
And Drew, there must be early nerves after the football that was played yesterday. 2 tremendous games of football. These 2 boys, these 2 sides will be full of expectation.
Free kick to Madden, up towards half forward. Bond in front. And the youngster from Port Adelaide takes the mark.
That's a brilliant mark. Troy Bond, Neil Baum looking on the coach as he brings it in towards Curtahan at the back, Sean White at the front. A chance for Carlton as Gleeson gets it further afield. Here's Matthew Hogg. He goes to ground. Oh, they go in hard. Gleeson caught one high. And up by Brian Sheen.
Bit
softly that. I think he accentuated it a bit.
He certainly did. As we're seeing here, he comes in on the spin. No one really takes him anywhere there, and he conned the umpire into it.
I think Top Bonnie might have given him just a little clip across the ear, but not a lot in it.
I would expect finals would be a little bit tougher than that.
Adrian Gleeson for Carlton second from directly in front. He kicks a goal. Great start for the Blues. 2 goals they've kicked. Melbourne yet to score.
And Gleeson has been very much a handy player in terms of the forward line for the Carlton side. They've got a number of players who will slot in, and he's kicked 4 goals twice this season. Now it's his 24th goal for the season, and in the better players last week is a valuable balance to the Barry Mitchell.
Irving might have got slightly the better of Madden. Hobbs' hand pass intercepted by McKay. His kick out wide. Bond leads the race. He's quick. 45 metres out. A centering effort. Alvin. No mark. Play on. There's Brown.
Drew, this is a test of Neil Baum's convictions now with Jim Stein sitting on the bench and Melbourne being Carlton being dominant, particularly out of the centre bounces. He'd be starting to think about it, I think.
Well, it's 15 metres out from the Carlton goal. Melbourne couldn't afford another goal here to Carlton. They've kicked 2 already. Here's Barry Mitchell. Was he held? Umpire calling play on. And he's surrounded by Melbourne players on the boundary line. There'll be a bounce. He's had a fine season for Carlton, Terry.
And a testing time for him. There's been question marks on Barry Mitchell as to how he'd go in the big grounds and the firm conditions in September. And Lee Matthews has openly questioned that. So Barry Mitchell very, very keen to do well.
Irving and Spalding. Andy Lovell read that beautifully off the pack and brings it to the half-back line. McKay trying to get around Lovett. An ordinary hand pass, but eventually it's Peter Dean who latches onto it, onto the left boot, up towards the pocket, and a diving mark taken by the former West Coast Eagle, Dean Irving.
Played the last 3 home and away games, and now in the finals, only his 4th game for the year. Lovell, a high ball to half-back flank. Hannah. Well, that just hung in the air agonisingly for Tingo.
He had his name written all over it, didn't he?
Unbelievable.
Kick by Hannah. Curtahan underneath it this time. Clever mark behind by Mitchell. Juggle a one-hander.
Well, if he kicks this, 3 goals to nothing early is a terrific start, isn't it?
It is, yeah, reminiscent of last night with Geelong, who got away to a very fine one. But Mill Hannah, what a great luxury to have playing on the wing. He and Anthony Koutafidis giving height and strength on both sides of the ground.
Barry Mitchell certainly has resurrected his career this year with Carlton after a disappointing year with Collingwood. Kicks for goal, just offline. First miss for the game. 2-1 Carlton. Melbourne yet to score.
Neil Baum and Greg Wells looks very perturbed at the back.
He's a bit concerned, Wellesley, isn't he?
Well, he played with both clubs. Hopgood in the back pocket. So they've got a string of medium-sized players, Melbourne. Here's another one of them, Andy Lovell. And he holds up play. It's in front of the Melbourne member stand. He swings onto the left boot and brings it to centre wing. A pack develops. Madden at the back. It's a big thump away. Dyson comes in and belts it over the line. So there'll be a throw in almost on centre wing. Melbourne started the season with 5 wins on the trot. Then they fell in a hole and just qualified for the finals. There's Parkin on the phone already. Carlton haven't been lower than second since round 14. Here's Neitz up towards centre half forward. Ratton, number 7. Beaten to it by Charles. Charles, nobody in front of him, goes for goal and gets the Demons first. Good man-on-man contest won by Charles.
It certainly was, and a bit of an injury cloud with Sean Charles coming into this game. He didn't train all that much during the week because of a sore foot, but certainly should have had a sore foot after kicking 5 goals straight last week against Sydney, and here he is open with one now. His pace in the forward line is a tremendous asset.
And Watch it, there's some pushing and shoving going on. So that changes things. Melbourne with a quick goal to Charles. He showed a lot of acceleration. Now, here's Dyson. Onto the left boot. Charles at the back. Ratton at the front. Brett Ratton trying to hook it out wide, hoping Silvani can get there. Lyon is there. It's a loose ball. Off the ground by Ratton was good play. Out wide towards Kudafidi, who's very quick. Matthew Phoebe's had a terrific season. Beautiful shepherding Matthew Phoebe. And Garry Lyon chips it further afield to half forward to Tingay. Tingay has got a loose man, and he found Glenn Lovett, who sprints clear, and he's kicked another one for the Demons. Glenn Lovett has kicked the Demons second, and now Carlton only lead by a point.
And a couple of interesting pieces in that particular play. Garry Lyon playing out in the half-forward line, bringing Silvani out to where Melbourne think he may be a little bit susceptible to the pace of the game. And Glenn Lovett, playing only his first game in 6 weeks, slotting back in at half-forward, finished it off.
In the middle, there's Glenn Lovett again, charging backwards, gets it to Tingay. Long kick inside the 50. Well done by Lyon to get it away from Silvani. Here's the speed of Charles. Taken out by Ratton, and we'll have a boundary throw in on the 50.
A classical matchup, isn't it? Silvani and Lyon, two fine players.
There's Jim Stynes, Brownlow medalist a few years ago, starting on the bench.
So half forward for the Demons. Oh, here's Dyson. He's a big kick of a football. He hooks it round the corner, Dyson, and just bounces the wrong way, and one behind. So scores dead set level after Carlton got a flying start. 13 apiece. There's Kevin Dyson. Long kick, Terry.
It was been a very good effort here by Melbourne to wrest control back after Carlton started so very, very well.
Michael Sexton kicking in, straight up the centre to Madden with Irving. Rovers needed for Carlton. Kudafidis goes off the ground. Neitz grabs it for Melbourne, and his pass is perfect. Oh no, just a little bit too high for Dyson, but he's in a lot of space. Near the boundary line, goes for distance. Pike at the back, number 10, a chance. Through it goes for a behind, and the Demons have hit the front. 14-13.
Well, I think we're in for a classical football match here. Two pretty evenly matched sides, and Steve Silvani's in for a tough day on Garry Lyon.
The two forward lines really hold the key here, Peter. I mean, they're both very productive when they're on top and firing. Melbourne showed it all last week, and Carlton have done it consistently through the season.
Well, here's Christo to the half-back line. Good mark, Hannah. He's very strong overhead, Mill Hannah. A very versatile player. He's looking for big Harry Madden, and he marks. Oh, he holds it up to the crowd. So big Justin Madden, an ordinary kick around the corner. It might come a good play by Tingay to spoil the ball at half forward. This is where Carlton can win or lose the game. Bongo, nearly cleared the fence. It's up to Spalding to really produce something across half forward. Stynes is on, Irving off. Half forward for Carlton.
So Stynes, having spent the first 13 and a half minutes of the game on the bench, he wins the boundary throw-in, but it's grabbed by Alvin. Well, Bond taken out of it when he didn't have it. Lovell's hand pass straight to Mitchell. Very high ball. 2-1, Carlton. Dean. In goes White. Matthew Phoebe. Long kick to centre wing. Pike down from the forward line. Stephen Phoebe rushes the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in at centre wing. Melbourne 2-2, Carlton 2-1.
Well, they'll have to be fit today. Warm conditions, beautiful conditions here at the MCG. Pretty breezy as Madden. Oh, Kudafidi's doing very, very well. Quick kick. Comes down towards half forward. It's thumped away towards Elvin. Tommy Elvin held to him. It'll have to be a bounce. Good umpiring. And that original kick came from Barry Mitchell.
218 games, Tommy Alvin. He's had a good season. Stynes really sparked into action by starting on the bench. Little kick by Matthew Phoebe to the centre of the ground. Down goes McKay. Here's Glenn Lovett for Melbourne. His hand pass, not great. Chance for Hannah. Inside 50, Mil Hannah. Drag the ground, ball, say the crowd. Umpire didn't agree. Umpire Brett Allen will ball it up.
Actually, some great positioning by the umpires there. They worked in tandem very well. Brian Sheehan right out on the boundary line looking in, and the other one looking in from the centre of the ground.
Yes, I thought that was good umpiring too, to call play on and then eventually bounce it, as we see Andrew Obbs towards centre wing. Brett Lovett, Norrish to half forward. And no marker. That was a hamstring stretcher, as racing after it was Martin Pike. Now that's a good matchup too, Sexton on Pike.
Yes, Sexton has Pike there. They're interchanging, Lyon and Pike interchanging up and down, as we called Peter Dean and Schwarz at centre half forward, centre half back respectively.
Madden and Steins with help from Christou. Dyson out in front of Lyon but close to the boundary line. Sexton first there, sees the ball out. Well, Melbourne in the first round against Geelong kicked the highest score of the season, 26-18, and the fourth highest score of the season last week against the Swans, 27-5.
Yes, I don't think they'll be kicking that today. Carlton, very good defence, as we see Steins looking for Charles but puts it out of bounds. I mean, that Carlton defence, you've got Silvani, Dean, Christou, Sexton, McKay. They're all very, very talented players. Now, Madden versus Steins. Let's hope we don't see many free kicks in these ruck contests. Matthew Hogg, former Footscray back pocket player, brings it back towards Hannah, who's having a good game. Look at the pace of Hannah. Gave it away, then was held. Is he paying the advantage? Yes, he is. Touched off the boot. Alvin goes wide. He gets it to Spalding. Spalding, a wobbly kick towards half forward. It's play on, calls the umpires. They charge in after it. Taken away by Matthew Feedy, who's in an outstanding season. He kicks it wide. Steins is out there with Brett Lovett. Lovett over the top to Steins. Steins can sprint clear. The little chip passes on. That's a typical little Irish kick of his. And he brings it into Schwarz, who takes the mark.
Brett Lovett has created a little bit at half forward, a couple of telling handballs to players on the run, and Steins been able to finish that one off well.
Schwarz kicked a couple of rippers against the Swans last week. This time he can't do it. In fact, he's put it out on the full.
Well, that's incredible. Last week he kicked 9 straight. Today, out of bounds on the full. Williams gets rid of Obst. Oh, here's Schwarz in it again. Well played by David Schwarz. And a beautiful kick off the left. Should have been swallowed by Varney. It wasn't. Tingay to Lovell. 65 metres out. Sexton. Pretty deliberate. And paid by the field umpire.
I reckon that's tough. I reckon that's tough because he tried to punch it around. I reckon that's real tough. I mean, it came back. It didn't go directly across the line.
Technically, if it's going towards your goal, it should not be deemed to be out deliberately.
No, well, I agree with you, Terry. Oh, you see that every week.
A chance for Pike here. 25 metres out. Missed to the near side. 4 behind. 2-3 to 2-1.
And Peter, for what it's worth, there's another variation there. Players going outside the boundary line have their shot, and playing on, running around, are playing on outside the boundary line and should be deemed out of bounds.
Oh, Sexton marks. Now he's chipping it around towards half back. Oh, away from Mitchell. Oh, he's hit hard. Well played, Todd Viney. Great play, Todd Viney. Back it comes to Tingay, who taps it over the line. But Mitchell was hit pretty hard, hip and shoulder on the boundary line.
I think he might have heard it coming too, because he didn't attack the first ball with much conviction.
Not much space in this game of football. Here's Obst. Great tackle by Williams. Floating hand pass. Mitchell ducking the head. And he goes for the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in. Pat on the head there from his former Sydney Swans teammate Greg Williams. 15 to 13 Melbourne lead. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
We're seeing a very good contest. Mitchell again. Taken away by Dyson. Oh, Mitchell's got to put a better effort in than that. Towards half forward for Melbourne. Oh, Matthew Phoebe tries to crash his way through the pack. Hogg goes down, appealing for the free kick. I don't think it was there. Steins, further afield, this is a bit hard contest. Pike, top Vardy, races in the goal. It's across the face. Charles at the back can't get back there, and did it clear the line? It did, so out on the full. Melbourne with a lot of the play, but the Carlton defence is strong. As Ratton kicks it. Oh, I think he's kicked it straight here to Brett Lovett.
Yes, that was a long way away from Alvin. Lovett at right half forward for the Demons. Pokes it in short. Punch down, or overrun by Koutafidis. Mitchell sobs away. 14 metres out, Steins has it. Away to Charles. Not a bad snap. A goal. His second. Well, Carlton did all the scoring at the start, and since then it's been Melbourne 3-3 to nothing.
And it didn't look like Melbourne would be able to get back into the game so quickly at the outset. Carlton took immediate control, but Melbourne have been very persistent, and their play over the last 5 minutes has been extremely committed at the ball. They've been quite prepared to put their body in when it's needed to be done so.
So 8 points Melbourne lead by Justin Madden can't get his boot to it. Andrew Obst towards the half-forward line. They race at the ball. Matthew Hogg kicks it quickly out wide, but there's Melbourne players coming from everywhere. Well played by Lyon. Further afield, he gave it towards his teammate Viney. Here's Brett Lovett. Glenn Lovett goes to ground. McKay is after him. It's socket away, and the umpire will come in and bounce at the 50-metre mark. Lovett was with a wistful look on his face, speaking to the umpire. So Melbourne by 8 points. It's been a good performance after Carlton kicked the first 2 goals. And the Blues are in for a tough game. Madden and Steins. Good umpiring to call play on for that one. Here's Schwarz. Great play, David Schwarz. Races in the goal. It's another one to the Demons. Great play. Really having a little burst of champagne football here. 4-3 for Carlton, 2-1.
And what incredible mobility for a man of that size of David Schwarz to be able to take the ball. As we can see here, he takes it with only one hand, a beautiful spin out of trouble, straighten himself under the pressure of moving forward at top pace and be able to slot it through. That's a real stimulus for Melbourne.
Carlton haven't scored since the 8-minute mark, and Melbourne have dominated the last 14 minutes. Dyson out of the middle. Charles. They're desperate back there. Ratton. Charles in after it, though. And forces the ball up within scoring distance again for the Demons. He's kicked 2 on a bit of a hot streak after 5 last week. Schwarz wins the tap, going Melbourne's way. Trouble here for the Blues again. Viney. Hand pass a bit slick for Steins. He's in the goal square. Can't get boot to ball. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
To the Carlton supporters behind the goals, peeling behind the ball, but I think the umpire's right again.
Well, I think they'd just be getting a little bit nervous just at the moment, Peter. The way Melbourne have come back at them, it's been tremendous football. They're hard at the ball, Melbourne.
Well, they're a committed side, Melbourne. They've got a lot of good runners, a lot of good medium-sized players. Here's Steins versus Madden. It's tapped down. Silvani hooks it through for a behind to the Demons. And the Blues supporters will be a little bit worried because it's 8 shots to 3.
Alvin. Just outside the 50 now to McKay. Hannah's on his own at centre wing. He's been damaging Milhana. Lost it. Tingay. Glenn Lovett approaching the 50. Short pass. Lyon hasn't been in the action yet, Garry Lyon. Gleeson, well done. To Silvani. Across the half-back line. Hannah again. This time he's got it.
He marked it on his chest that time, Drew.
3 marks to Hannah and 5 disposals. Dropped by Spalding. Neats.
Well, you cannot afford that in the standard of football to drop those easy marks. This will cost them a goal, I reckon. Glenn Lovett races clear, rings it in towards the pocket. Sean Charles at the back. Well played, Tommy Elvin. With strength, he held his ground and took the real good mark under pressure.
And a good move by David Park, and that had to be made. Charles was just too dominant on Brett Ratton.
Here's a good mark. Kutafides playing very, very good football. He kicks long. Williams is at the back. It's a loose ball. Oh, who wanted that? Pike charge through the pack. Good play. Here's Andy Lovett on the wing. Rings it to half forward. Andrew McKay races at it. Kutafides lends a hand again. On to Christou. And Christou will bring it to half forward for Carlton.
A high kick. Obston Williams. Williams has had just 2 hand passes for the game. The ball's gone out of bounds, and the move of Andrew Obst on to Williams has certainly paid handsome dividends for the Demons. Obst 3 possessions, but Williams, I saw him a couple of weeks ago against the Eagles. He had 13 in the first quarter. 2 here. Viney. Open space up towards half forward. Just past Schwarz it goes and out.
And if Williams is not getting touches, and remembering Bradley didn't take his place in the side, and they're their 2, key players around the centre.
They certainly are. They're the ones that create opportunities for the others, for the Kutafides and the Hannahs, different stages, but particularly for Brown and Kernahan.
Well, there's Williams going to ground. A boot went in there. It is a free kick. I think it's going to Greg Williams. He was manhandled in that pack. Now, Williams. Beautiful kick. Oh, good play by Gleeson. Further afield it goes to Ratton. Here's Spalding, and he marks this one, and the Blues could do with a goal right here and now. So Earl Spalding playing against his old club and not noted for his accurate kicking. Can he do the job here from 35 metres, 45-degree angle? His head over the ball. There's the kick. It looks pretty good. It's a goal. Good kick by Earl Spalding, and the Blues bounce back. 4-4 to 3-1.
It was a very good kick there by Spalding in the end. Not renowned for his accuracy there. Parkin has made the switch there with Kernahan coming out to centre half forward to try and get into the play. Spalding back to full forward. He led well, was able to dive down on it, and has ended up kicking his first goal for the day and his 12th goal for the season.
Stones wins in the middle. Hogg breaks the tackle. Away to McKay. Kernahan drops the mark that he might have taken. Lovell. Kicked by Lovell for Stones. Well, after the centre bounce, then goes off to play a sort of a ruck roving role, but it's knocked away from him by McKay, and the ball out of play.
Is that deliberate? It wasn't much different to the other end.
Oh, he was spoiling a player who was about to take possession of the ball, Pete.
He was stiff the other end. Centre wing. Steins, Madden, Ratton dives in on it. I just get the feeling we're in for a terrific game of football here, because Melbourne have to win.
And certainly there's enough incentive for Carlton. A berth straight into one of the preliminary finals. I think that's not to be scoffed at.
No. Madden, Glenn Lovett, Hannah, hooks it back to McKay. He's getting a few touches. Bond took front position. Good play by Bond. Mitchell kicked that very, very hurriedly. Tapped over the back by Fraser Brown. Here's Spalding, but the siren sounds to end the first quarter here at the MCG. Honours with Melbourne. They lead 4-4-28 to the Blues 3-1-19.
Carlton's way, but all in set and readiness now.
So the bounce. Madden and Irving. Steins is on the bench. There's Greg Williams. Oh, he's hotly pressed every time he goes near it. Grabbed by Ratton. Ratton to half forward. Out they come. It's thumped the ground. They dive in on top of Gleeson is there. The Demons working overtime in the packs. And they hold it in there for a bounce. Kernahan on the bottom of the pack.
Well, we've seen very little of Stephen Kernahan. In fact, his stat sheet is a clean sheet. Accidental kick away by Ratton. There he is again, number 7. He's been shifted off Charles. Hand pass and a high tackle on Ratton, and Ratton will get the free kick about 40 metres out.
Well, it was definitely there. I mean, it was a little bit untowards, I guess. It was just in the motion of play, but Ratton making the ball his objective was the aggressor in the whole event, and the arm, I think it was Andrew Obst, went over his shoulder. Straight through at it, and Obst come in too high over the top.
So Ratton actually kicking from about 48 metres. Good looking drop punt for a goal. So now the Blues within 3 points.
David Parkin would have had a lot to say to his team at quarter time. He would have been very disappointed in the manner in which they had let what was a controlling part of the game that they had established let slip so easily to Melbourne, and he would have really fired them up for this second quarter.
So the all-important centre bounce. Who's going to bring it out? Irving grabs it, gets it to Brett Lovett. Down towards centre wing. Taken by Andrew McKay, but he's kicked it away straight to Andy Lovell. Lovell wide, and a good mark, Peter Dean. A good, strong, reliable defender. Chips it out towards centre wing, and he finds Matty Hogg. So Matthew Hogg, been a fine play for a couple of seasons now for the Blues. Spalding at the back. Races after it, he's got it, keeps it in, and then eventually Neitz smothers the ball off his hands, and over the line it goes at half forward for the Blues.
Melbourne 28, Carlton 25. In the opening 3 minutes of the second quarter. It's tough in these packs. Great pick-up by Hopgood. Kick to the cricket pitch area. Hanna in front. Ball from behind by Tingay. Here's Charles with his pace. Great little hand pass to Lovett, and he's set up the Demons here. Tingay. The kick out wide. Pike.
Great kick. What a good kick, Terry.
That was a perfect piece of play. The coming down the ground, the busy, heavy side of the ground was on the side, the members' side, and Pike knew that he had to go to the vacant spaces on the outer. Tingay saw him going in a perfectly weighted kick onto the lead.
So Pike kicking from just outside 40 metres. Thumps it for a goal. Well, that's great stuff again, Terry. We're getting another good final.
We certainly are. Pike leading out of the full forward position, as we identified, so perfectly into space from there. He is given an extra dimension into the forward line. Previously, it had just been Jakovic and Lyon who'd been the goal kickers. Now Schwarz has added to that group, but Martin Pike has done so very well with 5 goals last week, and his 16th for the season has given an extra group into that forward line.
So 25 to 34. 9 points as Williams runs into a brick wall and gets a free kick. He put the head down, burrowed in, and got the kick. Well, let's see what happened. He put the head down, a little bit lucky. Down towards half forward. Kernahan. Oh, he can't mark it again. Spalding battling away down there with Sean White. White will go to the line. Was that deliberate? No, says the umpire. Not a lot different to the other one.
Not a lot different.
Anyway, he got away with it. So half forward for the Blues. Neitz is the big flyer over the back. There's Dyson, a clever little hand pass to Andy Lovell. Lovell to Tingay. Tingay to half forward for the Demons. And it's tapped back. That was by Schwarz. Here's Elvin. And it's a free kick that's going Melbourne's way. And it looks like Charles going to receive this. It is.
Made his debut as a schoolboy a few years ago. Garry Lyon hasn't been in it, but the Demons so far haven't needed him too much. Here's Andrew McKay. Lyon applying the tackle. Silvani. Bond in front. Good chest mark.
He's quick, isn't he?
Very quick, and isn't he so much like Gavin Wanganeen? Tremendous skills.
The kick by Bond for Kernahan. He went to ground, no free kick. Brown kicked the first goal of the game. Nobody in the goal square. Oh, what a goal! Well, they're kicking them from places you wouldn't believe you could kick them from.
This is an incredible goal from Fraser Brown. Kernahan being well checked by White there and a little bit out of sorts just at this particular stage. But Fraser Brown, now I'm not sure whether he had a quick look, but he knew where the sticks were and threw it in, and it did the rest.
Fraser Brown has kicked 2. Out they come through the centre. Madden almost threw it away. Umpire calling play on. The Demons try to get it out. Here's Williams going in after it. Knocked on to Kudafini's. Good play by Spalding. It's up in the air. Kernahan flies at the back. He can't mark. It's a loose ball again. Is that a free kick to Sean White? It was an Academy Award performance, and the umpire said play on, and it rolled through for a behind. behind are the Blues. 2 points the difference. Melbourne lead.
Gee, well, maybe there isn't that much between 2nd and 7th after all. Kick up towards centre wing. Oh, Lyon came from nowhere. Got it down to Neitz. Grabbed in by Tingay. Back to Tingay from Obst. Time for Stephen Tingay. A high ball. Here's Schwarz. Spoiled by Dean. Missed the grand final last year, Peter Dean. Would love to be there this year. Pike gave it up to Dean. McKay. Round the outer boundary line he goes. On the chest of Brett Lovett. Kick by Lovett to centre half forward. Madden! Didn't take the mark, but Koutafides there to grab the crumbs. Anthony Koutafides, long to Kernahan. First mark for the game with the skipper.
What a great kick by Koutafides. Brilliant play.
And that's the dimension that Anthony Koutafides will bring to this Carlton side. Playing on the wing, he doesn't mess around with the ball. He knows exactly where he needs to go. And Stephen Kernahan was able to read that perfectly.
Looks great from behind, doesn't it? And Stephen Kernahan with his first touch at the 7.5-minute mark of the second quarter. And a straight kick will put the Blues 4 points up. They lead by those 4 points.
And he's certainly the captain who's going to inspire the win. I think for Carlton to do well through this final series, Stephen Kernahan will have to continue to stand up as the goal kicking forward for them. He has been the leading goal kicker every year that he's been at the club, and his strength in that contest against White pushing back, but he took him.
Carlton by 4 points as Andy Lovell kicks forward. Silvani at the back, Lyon at the front. It's no mark. Schwarz tries to get in a hand pass. Koutafides has been terrific. Look at that hand pass to Spalding. Spalding's coming into the game. Oh, big Harry Madden. He can run on and kick a goal. Justin Madden. Fraser Brown at the back and helps it on its way. And you can hear the crowd lift as Harry Madden decided to try to sprint. Yeah, that's a hip and shoulder as he kicked it. Nothing in that.
Short pass into Hopgood. 39-34, the Blues leading. 13.5 minutes to go to half-time. Koutafides! Yes, the mark paid. Touched it about 3 times. I'm not really sure he controlled it.
Oh, look
to
at
Kernahan. And Sticks has got it.
Too big for Sean White. And too good on that occasion.
Well, a man who was right out of it for about 35 minutes. 2 marks in a minute and a half.
Koutafides is killing.
Stephen Kernahan, what a champion goal kicker he's been. Leading goal kicker at the club in all his 8 years. Don't tell me. That is the worst kick of a goal kicker you've ever seen in your life.
It was only 25 metres. You
look at Craig
Bradley. Yeah, Craig Bradley must be feeling that.
Oh. Gee, that's a bad miss of vital. I mean, you can bury sides by kicking those sort of goals. You just can't afford to miss them. Here's Steve Phoebe bringing it out to Todd Viney. Viney. Well, he's not far out from goal, actually. Now he's got a loose man there. Oh, Andy Lovell has just cleared Gleeson. Lovell to centre wing. Irving and Madden. And backup support was by Neitz.
David Neitz up to half forward. It's too wide for Garry Lyon. And the ball out of bounds on the full. Quickly taken by McKay. Mitchell drops an absolute sitter. Kicked by Mitchell. And he's given it straight to the opposition, so that's a double whammy there.
It went about 30 metres, that kick.
Matthew Phoebe. Up to Lovett. Spoil from behind. They're in after it at ground level. Williams. Well played by Greg Williams. McKay. Christou. Gleeson spoiled. Koutafides again puts it out in front of his teammates. Spalding. Kick by Spalding. 2 against 2. Kernahan the recovery. But he couldn't get boot to ball cleanly. And Stephen Phoebe runs it through for a rush behind.
They boo the player who rushes it through like when they used to kick it back to the soccer goalie. I reckon it was a weak play to do that. I think it was sensible football. Now Steve Phoebe often kicks in for Melbourne. He's got Andy Lovell out wide and he's going to find him with that kick. And off he goes. Lovell to centre wing and he finds David Neitz. He's off. Neitz, a low trajectory kick, another wide kick. And Christou and Andrew Obst help the ball on its way.
Just let himself down there a couple of times there, hasn't he, David Neitz, with his disposal. The last 2 haven't found the mark. When coming off half-back, that's your job.
Well, Pete, a couple of weeks ago, we were frustrated by Melbourne, the way they fiddled around with the ball. And if you play the flanks, they do use the ball a lot. In fact, both these teams do. But, gee, the long, big kick, Koutafidis proved it. Here's Glenn Lovett. And the ball out of play.
They've got a good backline, Carlton, haven't they? They just keep harassing and tackling.
And it's a backline that's played together nearly all season, Per. There's not too many changes in the Carlton defensive unit. And once you play with a group of players for so long, you get a real feel for each other.
Charles, just a bit of a fumble in there. Down goes Garry Lyon, who has been reasonably quiet, in fact very quiet. 3 possessions for Garry Lyon.
Well, he is on Silvani. He's a hard player to play on. And there's Jimmy Steins. He'll probably be on shortly. Silvani, a great stopper. And look at that punch. A 30-metre punch by Peter Dean over the line. And
out here, Brett Lovett has Greg Williams, so they're alternating their men on Greg Williams and doing it to a treat.
Yes, it's been Obst and Brett Lovett who have been going on. When Brett Lovett takes him, Williams has got a few possessions because Lovett's prepared to work off him, whereas Obst works a more closely and tighter unit on him.
Madden at the back, taps it away. Now Melbourne a chance here. Todd Viney was grabbed, and grabbed high. Free kick to Todd Viney. And Irving coming off, and Steins on as Glenn Lovett receives, kicks slightly across the face, and it hit the behind post on the full, so that's out of bounds. Michael Sexton to take the penalty kick.
In short he goes to Koutafidis.
She's playing
a burning.
Oh.
That is 13 disposals for Anthony Koutafidis.
He's best on the ground in my book.
Hannah just behind the wing. Pops it over the top. That wasn't a good kick for the full. Spalding. And Spalding not happy with his delivery there. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. 41 Carlton, 34 Melbourne, and we have 10 minutes to go to half-time.
And a vital 10 minutes coming up. The 2 number 11s. Oh, Hannah came over the back and thumped it away. Glenn Lovett, well played by Mitchell to just shove him out of the way with his body. And over the line it goes again, slightly towards half forward for Carlton. They've looked the better side in this quarter. Barry Mitchell on screen. The 2 number 11s again. Spalding. Oh, he got across the neck of Steins. Here's Andy Lovell, swings onto the left boot and brings it towards half forward. Up they go. Madden couldn't mark. Andrew Obst did it well. Todd Viney sprints clear on the left. Oh, good play, Silvani. Great play, Silvani on Lyon. He's not going to get an easy kick, Garry Lyon. That was classical back play, wasn't it, Terry?
It was. So the reach
is,
and Barmy is getting very frustrated there. I don't know whether he was looking for the longer ball to be delivered into the square over the top of that tight lead, but it was always had to be spot on there because Silvani had Lyon well covered.
Well, they said the tall, lanky ruckman was a dinosaur of a past era, and Harry Madden has had a superb season. He wins that with a good punch away. Down goes Gleeson, taken by Dyson for Melbourne. Wheels round on the right boot. 1-out contest here. Pike with strength. Oh, well done by Pike on Sexton. Then gets one in the back and will take a free kick. Brilliant footy.
Pike always had Sexton out-positioned in that. Even in the reach for the ball, he's got Sexton well under control there and remains between him and the ball. Always going to be in a chance for a free kick.
Barton Pike has already kicked 1 goal earlier in this quarter. This to get the Demons back to within a point. Oh, he's missed everything. Well, it's almost like they haven't pumped up the balls properly. Fancy Kernahan missing his and Pike missing that.
Now a short one comes out the hand of Todvine. He's gone off and he was holding his shoulder. He's going to get some taping or something, and Hilton coming on. Here's Sexton at half-back, taking a good mark. Good solid player, Sexton. Unobtrusive, doesn't get a lot of raps. Centre wing. Koutafidis is there. Look at the pace. He's going to kick long. He'll look for Kernahan. He's one out. Steve Kernahan. He's still got it. Oh, the captain kicks a goal. Great play by the big full forward. Kernahan's kicked his second, and what a vital goal that one is. 7-5 to 5-4.
A very vital goal, Peter. It just looked as though Melbourne were trying to work their way back into the game and giving themselves some opportunities. At one end, Pike misses what he should have kicked, but then it comes through the midfield, and it's that man Koutafidis again who delivers the ball onto Kernahan and makes the goal.
Well, Carlton have changed the balance a bit. Gleeson went off, and on came James Cook, so a bit of height there on the forward line. Down goes Phoebe, and will take a free kick, Matthew Phoebe.
And I think that's fair enough when you've got someone like Anthony Koutafidis dominating across the midfield and who can kick the ball long into a marking forward line.
And Gleeson had been very quiet with just 4 possessions, but he had kicked 1 goal. Kicked by Phoebe, over the back, Christou. Gee, that defence is sensational. It's tall and it's fast. Oh, Spalding. Well, Neat's caught hopelessly out of position that time. White facing Kernahan, eyeball to eyeball, but Sticks gets away from him. Kernahan goes long for the goal square. Kernahan's there. Brown. The hand pass to Kernahan, a sitter. Well, that is brilliant play by Fraser Brown.
Great play.
And Kernahan all of a sudden has kicked 3.
And what a game it is that Kernahan is so well held for a quarter of the game. But this goal purely belongs to Fraser Brown. He has about 3 goes of this ball. There's once there, twice there, quick hands over the top. Kernahan there to finish it off for him.
The Blues with a handy little buffer now after great. Look at that 53 to 34 and put that goal down to Fraser Brown. There's Matthew Hogg. Williams. Oh, look at that. The magician at work. Brings it in the full forward. Oh, it's a mark. A brilliant mark. It's taken by James Cook. Oh, this is a great burst by the Blues.
And they're using the ball so long out of the centre of the ground. They're not messing around. They have no need to change their style of play. And when you have a forward line with the marking power of Kernahan and now Cook coming in, who's a fine young talent, you would not deliver the ball any other way. We've changed now. Primke coming on, and he'll go straight, I think, to Kernahan at full forward.
So James Cook from directly in front stabs it through for a goal. The Blues are on fire. Have a look at their supporters. A brilliant 6 or 7 minutes of football. 34 plays 59.
And have kicked the last 5 goals. They've really taken control. James Cook, he has been a very good. He's just returned after a heel injury. Has only kicked 3 goals in the last 5 games, and his place in the side has been very shaky. But that was a fine mark from him.
The Blues have kicked 3 goals in the last 2.5 minutes. Madden out of the middle. Tingay. Here's Madden again. It spills to Williams. Hurried kick on the chest of Spalding. Left foot snap by Spalding. Is across the face of goal and through for a behind. Well, Pike had a kick to get Melbourne within a point, and all of a sudden the margin is 26.
And anyone who says straight kicking's not important, that really changed the game. It went down the other end, they got a goal. We see Gleeson getting some massage on his back there. It really did change the game then. Instead of being almost level, Carlton had a 2-goal buffer. So Norrish to centre wing. Hannah is there. And they pounce in on top of Chia. I'll tell you who's controlled this game is Koutafidis. He has been magnificent with his pace and long kicking.
He certainly has. 11 kicks, 3 handballs, 4 marks. He's the one there, and I think Neil Baum should look at least finding a better opponent than Stephen Tingay for him just at the moment.
Well,
It's got Matthew Phoebe now.
Matthew Phoebe.
Well, that might be a good matchup. He hasn't got the height, but might be able to run with him. Here's Norrish. Left footer towards the 50. Alvin. Charles not happy with the delivery.
And that was a great move by Parkin too. Alvin down there on to Charles.
Sexton from behind, no mark. Obst a little hand pass. Lyon, one of his very few kicks. And the ball's seen out by Peter Dean on the half volley.
Great play by Dean. He missed. Look at the centre breaks, Terry.
And Justin Madden has been the dominant factor there, hasn't he? His clear possession there, giving his smaller players an armchair ride.
Well, there's Andrew Obst having a snap on the left boot. And it hit the behind post, said the goal umpire. So it'll be a throw in. They need a couple of quick goals, Melbourne. They've got 5 minutes still, half time. Carlton by 26 points. Let's see what they can do. Schwarz has gone out of it in this quarter. Here's Todd Viney, a chance. Great play, Viney. Now, was it touched off the boot or not? No, it wasn't. So it's out in the full. Carlton penalty kick.
It's just hard to see where those goals are going to come from just at the moment, Peter. They're not flowing through there. Look, there's even frustration behind the play there now. There's a bit of blue going on.
Here's Steins marking, but they need Lyon to start firing up on Silvani.
Oh, look at this. Glenn Lovett, 15 metres in the clear. But he's right out in the pocket, and with Harry Madden standing the mark, he'll need to get a bit of elevation with his kick.
Well, the umpire's right. Well, that's exactly where he did take it.
Well, this needs to be a drought breaker for Melbourne. They haven't goaled for a while. That's not a goal either. Rushed through by Sexton. 4 behind. 9-6 to 5 goals 5. And a bit of a fight on behind play. This is the replay of what went on a minute ago. Dean getting involved there with Schwarz.
Here's Charles. Kicks a goal. Oh, he's kicked his third, I think. Yes! Great play by the little half forward. 9-6. Plays 6-5 as they fight back the Demons.
A most important goal there. That's only the second goal Melbourne have scored for the quarter. And Sean Charles, along with Martin Park, have been those scorers. But his elusiveness in there, it could well be enough now to spark Melbourne. They need to get at least one more before Carlton go into the break.
And what happened there was Matthew Phoebe beat Koutafidis in a one-out duel, and it resulted in a Melbourne goal. And Koutafidis hasn't been beaten too often today. So that move might work for the Demons. 9-6 Carlton, 6 goals 5 Melbourne. We've got just under 4 minutes to half-time. Perfect day here in Melbourne. Warm and sunny, and what you expect finals football to be. Madden wins another one. Hannah. There's Matthew Phoebe. Half back to half forward. Schwarz. And he showed Dean the ball. He said, have a look at that, son. Kick by David Schwarz for Lyon. Garry Lyon's got it.
That's what they want.
And that's his first mark. And here we are, nearly 25 minutes into the second quarter.
Important kick, this one.
Well, we saw Kernahan have a drought and all of a sudden kick 3 goals. Will this be the start of something big for Garry Lyon? Oh, what a kick! Well, there's plenty left in this game. 13 points the difference.
Well, this is the pair of players that Melbourne really need firing. David Schwarz at centre forward and Garry Lyon at full forward. Now, you can understand why certain players are made captains of league sides. Stephen Kernahan has stood up at one end. Now Garry Lyon is looking to do his piece for his side down at the other end.
Again, the game has changed complexion. 13 points only now, the margin. Who'll get it out of the centre? That's very important. No one, in fact, this time will be a bounce. So Madden will go against Steins. Hit outs 9 to Carlton 3. Well, that's pretty typical of Carlton. As Williams gets in a hand pass to Hannah. Smothered beautifully. Well played, Stephen Phoebe. Tingay races clear. In towards full forward, Martin Pike. He's got a big chance here, Pike. He waits for the bounce. He's got it. Gives a hand pass back to Charles. Back to Pike. Pike chips it across to Obbs, and that is very, very good team play by Melbourne. Obbs has found a loose man. He chips it into the pocket. And look who's there. It's Glenn Lovett. Well, has this game changed again? Unbelievable. Melbourne, Carlton getting right on top, Terry, and now Melbourne have hit back hard. If he kicks this goal, they're only 7 points down. So Glenn Lovett from a tight angle. It looks pretty good. It's a goal. Lovett has kicked 2. And now the margin is only 7 points.
And the players of Matthew Phoebe on Anthony Koutafidis, you know, he's taking some very important possessions away in that area there, but the harassment there, you know, Stephen Phoebe harassing the ball down on Hannah's handball, Tim Gay with the use of the ball, but some quick, sharp hands in the forward line, ended up with a good goal at a very important time.
We're back in the middle, and a free kick to the Blues to be taken by Madden. 7 points the margin. Carlton, in a blink of an eye ago, led by 26. Ball underfoot. Andy Lovell, a high clearing kick. Steins, chest mark. But gee, the Melbourne team has improved in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Dyson, bit of a hospital hand pass by Steins. Koutafidis was in there. Mitchell's hand pass missed the target. Ratton dragged down by Matthew Phoebe, who's lifted. Stephen Phoebe to Lovett. Hand pass by Brett Lovett. On the bounce to Obst. Not a goal coming up here, perhaps, for the D's. Glenn Lovett on the 50. Oops, a couple of steps. Play on. Play on, said the umpire. Dyson. Melbourne have plenty here. Schwarz.
No mark. He hasn't paid it.
He's going to kick a goal anyway. The margin's a point. What a comeback by the D's. 4 goals in 5 minutes.
Well, this is tremendous, Garry. David Schwarz, I mean, what an athletic man. It was clearly a mark. The umpire, for whatever reason, hasn't paid it. But then Schwarz has the agility and the nous to be able to get up, step around Silvani and put it home.
So back we go to the centre of point the margin. The Blues in front. Williams tries to hook it out too high, says the umpire. Off he goes, Greg Williams. He'll look for Kernahan. He hooks it back to Cook. It would have been a free kick down the ground anyway, but Cook is marked. James Cook has come off interchange. He's kicked 1 after a brilliant mark. He's having another shot. And whether it was a free kick down the field or not, he was going to mark it anyway, Cook. He's directly in front. He's not a bad kick of a football. A vital kick, getting close to half-time. Oh, a shocker. He's only kicked it behind and just got that right on siren time. So 2 points the margin, Terry. Unbelievable. Carlton kicked it at 4.5 goals clear, and Melbourne, to their credit, came back.
To come back to kick the last 4 goals and 4 in a period of 5 minutes was what they really need to go into this break. They'll come out a very fired up side after half-time.
And there's David Parkin, who a while ago might have thought that his ravaging Blues were going pretty well. And we're going to have a week's break next week. But now, it's no certainty. Carlton 9-7-61 leading Melbourne 9-5-59 at half.
Opportunity to kick goals, and Steins comes off the bench and gives them a little bit around the ground, and a couple of important matchups now with Phoebe on Koutafidis and of course Hogg on Viney, and 2 guys at each other all day, Schwarz and D. So let's look forward to this 3rd quarter.
Start of the second half and the Blues leading by 2 points. Irving back on the ground and beats Madden. Williams for Carlton. Wide hand pass for Dean. White now playing up the ground. Sean White gives a good left-hand hand pass. Dyson, Obst. Kick by Obst to full forward. Lyon. Silvani in his back. Here's Charles. Snaps. Going for number 4. Missed it. 3 goals 1 to Sean Charles.
He is dangerous.
He's hot. He's tremendous. Either way, he goes left, he goes right. He has balance, he has poise, has a high level of skill. Great player.
And he can stop dead and snap the ball very, very quickly. Christou to the half-back line. Peter Dean flies and takes a nice mark. He's looking for someone out wide, and he's found an option. He finds Hannah. Hannah, a little chip pass. They've got the loose man going. Sexton brings it in towards the pocket. Kernahan, no, he can't mark it. And they've got Primke on him, and that's a better matchup as far as height goes than Sean White.
Yes, that's true. I think White was still probably the best option first up with his athleticism, but the second quarter, Kernahan put paid to that.
Chance for the Blues here. Hard ball to win. Brown, little hand pass. Back out. And another throw in. Charles has kicked 3 goals for Melbourne. Schwarz and Lovett 2 each. Kernahan 3 for Carlton. And Brown has kicked 2. Huge pack of players around this. Kernahan wins in ruck. Viney through. Oh, Lovell gave it away. Trouble for Neitz in front of goal. A little hand pass back. Mitchell to Bond. Snapped by Bond offline behind.
Oh, that was a dangerous hand pass. But that's their game, Melbourne. Possession game. They'll handball anywhere over the ground. So 2 points the Blues lead by. Steve Phoebe. Oh, a dangerous kick. Oh, it just clears Barry Mitchell. And the mark taken by Sean White. I think he'd be a relieved man. Oh, an ordinary kick, but it comes off again. Again, they go to possession game. This time to Primke. And the Melbourne supporters got their hearts in their mouths as Primke brings it to centre wing. Justin Madden and Kernahan. It's towards the centre of the ground. Andrew Obst. He was actually looking for Pike. Charles gets a very poor bounce. Sexton bumped off the ball. Taken by Tommy Alvin. Here's Peter Dean. Bring it out towards Madden. Madden and Steve Phoebe punched away by Madden. Was good play to Gleeson. Gleeson to Mitchell. On to Madden. Madden brings it in towards the pocket. Now the bounce important here. It favours, was that Schwarz way down there or Neitz? It was Neitz. And taken away by Sean White, who takes it over the line. And the Carlton supporters appealing for deliberate, but I think the umpire was right.
Peter, both coaches have let things ride as they open the game. Stein starting on the bench for Melbourne with Hilton.
And Irving in the ruck. Kicked by Brown to the edge of the goal square. Primke marks in front of Kernahan. Away to Andy Lovell. Outside the 50. Tingay and Hannah has been a great battle. Good tackle by Tingay. Oh, well played by Steve Tingay. Missed with the hand pass. Scoop off the deck was good by Irving, the ruckman. Lovell. Matthew Phoebe. His kick to half forward. Oh, top mark by Schwarz. Too far out to score. A lead by Lyon. The kick dropping short. Ball still in play. Here's danger with Charles. Charles fighting hard for it. Good tackling, but Carlton get out of it. Daring kick by Dean.
Tingay caught. Gets in a hand pass, but smothered by Hannah. The vital third term in its early stages. Melbourne, a sudden death for them if they lose, they're out.
There's been no drop in the intensity of the game. Both sides have come out fully fired up.
Irving and Madden. Oh, Williams comes through the pack and gets yet another free kick because of his skill. And what's the umpire going to do here? Nothing. He's going to let Williams go back and take his kick. Williams gets a lot of free kicks because he gets in after that ball. Now he's chipping it in short to Hannah. Off he goes. A beautifully directed kick. Spalding used his body well. Now, who's got the pace? Spalding gets there first. Has he got backup support? Good play, Earl Spalding. He did it well. Then knocks it clear. It's knocked further afield. The Blues go forward through Gleeson. It's in front of goal. Primke and Kernahan. Well played, Primke. He kicks in the man coming towards him, Barry Mitchell. It rebounds over the line for a throw-in.
Mitchell, 11 possessions. Williams has also had 11. Well below his quota. He's the leading possession winner in the competition, averages 30 a game. White. Primke. He's had to do a lot since he's come on. Lovell just gets the hand pass to Obst. He's kicked to centre wing. Irving. Good mark. Former West Coast Eagle. Laboured in the seconds for most of this season. Just played the last 3 home and away games. His kick astray, looking for Schwarz. And all he did was find Dean.
He's a good player, Dean. Very good, solid, reliable player. Oh, he was going to go short, but a dangerous option it was on that occasion. He brings it over the centre. A pack develops, up they go, and a good mark to Irving. Off he goes to Matthew Phoebe. A long kick. Dean again goes back. He takes another mark. Well played, Peter Dean. He can transfer play. Oh, it might be dangerous. Silvani to Sexton. He can go to Hannah. It's created the loose man. Now, who's further afield? There's no one leading at the moment, so Hannah transfers play back towards Greg Williams. He's underneath it. It's thumped away. Brett Lovett traps it well. Beautiful play. Todd Viney. Here come the Demons. Viney. They've got an option of 2 players. The ball hits the deck. Taken away by Dean. That's good defensive play by Carlton. Here's Glenn Lovett. He's caught. Thrown to the ground. Umpire calls play on. Still a chance. It's a free kick advantage paid. Sean Charles for his 4th. And he's missed. Oh boy, the umpire paid advantage. And Charles missed it. He's not happy with himself.
That's where the players have got to be careful, Peter. I think it's the players who dictate whether the advantage is going to be play or not. Now, this behind play, Koutafidis went down earlier after that big jump. Carlton would not want anything to have happened to him at this particular stage.
Well, he got up shaking his head, but he looks all right now. In fact, he's leading for this kick. Anthony Koutafidis. Best on ground in the first half. Dean has had a superb start to the 3rd term. Matthew Phoebe. Standing start to centre half forward. McKay and Glenn Lovett. Alvin. Irving and Madden. This is a bit of fun. Irving's going like a rocket this quarter. Gets it back from Obst. Long kick. Lyon. Oh, what a mark by Pike! Did he fly for that one?
That was a brilliant mark.
As Silvani and Lyon jostle for position, he gets a straight run out of here. Sexton allowed him to have the front position. Everyone else went for the ball. Pike's mark.
This to put the Demons 5 points in front. Pike's 2nd goal.
It just seems that at this stage the ball is travelling a little bit further in the direction that Melbourne are kicking. Whether the breeze is having influence out there at the moment or not, but Peter Dean's last couple of kicks seem to hang up into the breeze, whereas Irving then on the run delivered the ball a good 55 metres into there for Pike to be able to take that fine mark and finish off with the goal.
The Demons by 5 points. Justin Madden. He was looking for Williams. Kicked away by Todd Viney. Here's Obst. He goes back to Matthew Phoebe. Oh, an ordinary kick off the side of the boot. And out on... Oh, no, it was Steve Phoebe. So that's why the left foot kick wobbled. With Matthew normally on his left foot, kicks beautifully. Andrew McKay towards Madden. No mark to Neitz. And the umpire paid it. Yes, he has. So David Neitz. Bring it in towards half forward. McKay sets himself again and didn't waver. Did not take his eyes off and took a good strong mark. Not a lot happening for Carlo. Dangerous kick. Mitchell is there and Ratton. Tingay. Hogg. Christou. Still going Christou. That's good play, but he can't pick it up. Where's Mitchell? Oh, he went without it. Quick hand pass. Todd Viney. No, it's not. It's Dyson. He goes to ground. Still Melbourne. Glenn Lovett. Gee, they're working hard, Melbourne. Out it comes to Viney. Viney, the chip pass. Lyon. He's underneath it, and Tommy Alvin will mop up for the Blues.
Good clearance by Alvin. Close to the boundary line. Spalding. Good tackle by Tingay. Hannah dropped a bit short of Hogg, but eventually got there. Kick by Hogg to half forward. Gleeson. Climbing over the top was Lovell. with the perfect sit. Across the half-back line, looking for White. Brown is there. White and Brown, a colourful contest. Here's Fraser Brown. Open goal. And he's kicked it.
Magnificent.
And the Blues back in front.
That is a brilliant goal, Terry.
It really was. Andy Lovett will be very disappointed with his execution of the skill here. He's gone straight across the ground to Sean White. The bounce didn't favour him. He tried to tap it on, but it was Fraser Brown who was able to keep the ball, just paddle along in front of him and then finally break it open for his third goal of the game. And he's proving to be a valuable half-forward flanker here this afternoon.
The short game once again letting them down. The Blues by a point. Madden. Williams. A hand pass. Comes out to Norris. In towards half forward. And the mark has been taken by Glenn Lovett. And it was Steve Phoebe who gave that original pass. Glenn Lovett to put Melbourne back in front. He kicks. Did it swing back? I think it's a goal. Yes. Well, what a game we're seeing. 3 goals to Glenn Lovett. And now Melbourne by 5 points.
And this is the period of the game where there's a real test of strength. Not so much physical strength, but the mental strength as to which side is going to stick to their game plan, adhere to both the defensive and offensive aspects of their game, while being prepared to everything possible to win the ball.
Well, the lead has changed 3 times in 4 minutes. Dyson out of the middle, and Alvin takes the mark in defence for the Blues. Steins back on the ground, and Irving had been a star in the middle at the start of this quarter for Melbourne. Ratton low. Hannah takes the mark centre wing. Kick by Hannah to the 50. Kernahan. Melbourne leading by 5 points. Kernahan too far out even for him. In short, this is dangerous.
That is shocking football by Carlton. Why wouldn't you kick it to the top of the square and put them under pressure?
Viney to Steins. Oh, he's dropped it right in front. Here's a chance for Gleeson. He dropped it. Lovell.
Well, Gleeson's lack of pace found him out then. So that's Matthew Phoebe hooking it around in the direction of Obbs. And Obbs not happy with that pass. Neil Baum and Greg Wells, who'd want to be a coach. Celebrates Melbourne 4-0 in the third term, Terry.
Yeah, Dean Irving started so very well in there, but Neil Baum sticking with his pre-game plan of rolling them over, and Steins is the one in that round at the moment.
Justin Madden, a free kick in that ruck contest. He should be moving it quickly down in the direction of Kernahan. Now he centres this one. Kernahan is there. Primke edges him out. Good mark, Paul Primke. He's doing all right.
It's a good effort against a quality opponent like Kernahan to move in like that.
Kick by Primke towards the outer side. Schwarz is there. Steins loping after it. Glenn Lovett, who's been a best and fairest winner and a runner-up, has run this ball out and will have a throw-in.
Well, certainly Melbourne look quicker.
They do just at the moment, and that would be a nervous type of a sign for David Parkin, because last year they were branded as not being quick enough to win the flag. Are they any quicker this year?
Here's Kudafides breaking out to Kernahan. Primke in front again. Takes the mark.
That could be a match-winning move, that one. Paul Primke, a very, very underrated player. Brings it to centre wing. Oh, good mark. And it's taken by Matthew Phoebe, who's an outstanding season. One of the best half-back players in the league. In towards half-forward, it's no mark, but it's a loose ball. Tingay chips it into the pocket. Great play, Melbourne, as Lyon takes the mark 25 metres from goal.
Mitchell bench for the Blues with 11 possessions, replaced by Lynn.
Well, danger signs for Carlton. Garry Lyon, a big kick coming up, an acute angle. He kicks. It starts to drift. and he's kicked her behind. It must have been fairly close looking on Lyon's reaction.
So for Carlton, Little Spalding's now gone into the ruck with Justin Madden to the bench and James Cook into the forward line.
8.5 minutes to three-quarter time. One straight kick the difference. Melbourne by 6 points. Kick by Dean. Looking for Williams with Steins. Well, Williams had little chance. Charles goes back to Obst. Kick wide is good. And Pike is proving a real problem.
Drew, one of the advantages there of the outriding system, if you can win possession of the ball quickly across half forward, you will have a spare forward free deep in the forward pocket.
He's kicked 2 goals, Pike. This from 35 metres across the face.
Oh, gee.
Another behind.
They're letting Carlton off the hook here.
2 very gettable shots there, Pike and Lyon in succession. Barry Mitchell, Justin Madden, and Adrian Whitehead on the bench.
So Peter Dean again sensibly going long. There's Sean Charles flying for it. Matthew Phoebe sprints clear. Brings it in towards the pocket. Thump the ground. It's another loose ball. Who's going to end up with it? It's Dyson. He sprints away. Kevin Dyson, another bomb at goal. They've kicked yet another point. Gee, the Carlton supporters. And of course, David Park and his selection panel would be breathing a sigh of relief.
It certainly would. Melbourne have really got them under pressure. If they can pick up, just 1 or 2 of these quick goals now, they'll have a very, put themselves in a fine position.
Melbourne in the sudden death position. They need to win.
And Drew, I think that's what allows Melbourne to be a lot freer in this game. I mean, they've got nothing to lose, and they can have a go at a lot of different aspects of the game, and they've been very aggressive in everything they've undertaken here today.
Schwarz 2 goals today after his 9 last week. The 2 numbers 11 in the ruck. Spalding and Steins. Comes to Matthew Phoebe. Out in front of goal. Chance for the Demons here. Pike. Oh, well done. Turned them inside out. Goes for goal. And I think he's... Oh, just grazed the post.
Oh, can't believe this.
He has kicked 2 goals, 3 and 1 out of bounds.
Look at Neil Baum and Greg Wells. I mean, they could have buried Carlton in this passage. They only lead by 9 points. And they've had all the play for the last 10 minutes. Here's Hannah receiving a beautiful kick in from Peter Dean.
2 goals, 6 to 1 goal, 1 in this quarter.
Now, here's Spalding. I wouldn't mind betting they race down and get a goal here. Alvin goes back to McKay. McKay's going to kick it long. Cook and Kernahan. Kernahan can't mark. It hits the deck. Here's Gleeson on the left foot. Oh, look at the smother. Still Gleeson. Well played, Andy Lovett. Is that a free kick to Gleeson? On the boundary line, but Gleeson's lack of pace often causes him to get smothered.
Yeah, hung on to it a little bit longer, but Andy Lovell, he's just committed to smothering that ball and put everything in behind it.
Lovell, 21 possessions, had a big game. White gets the hand pass through. Bit of a fumble by Phoebe. Glenn Lovett. Matthew Phoebe applies the tackle on McKay, but he gets the hand pass away. Lynn just on the ground. Cook. And the ball out of play. Throw in. James Cook spent a little bit of time on the ground in the second quarter, and had no sooner come on, took a mark and kicked a goal.
I've seen Melbourne in a couple of games this year absolutely dominate play but not put the score on the board, and then they've been beaten in the last quarter. Let's hope for their sake, they can do something better today. Here's Tingay, halfback, a wobbly kick, but it's a desired effect. It's right down towards Garry Lyon. Silvani at the back, well played by Lyon, and eventually forced over the line. Good play in the finish because there was 2-on-1 to Carlton.
Yeah, I think he clearly saw Milhana coming into him and have no support from his Melbourne teammates, so very well disguised drop it over the line from Garry Lyon.
Free kicks for the match, 16-5. That's incredible. Here goes David Schwarz. Surely he'll kick this one. Nobody coming at him. And he gets it. He's kicked 3. 1 in each quarter for David Schwarz. And now a mini break for the Demons.
Well, this Carlton defence that we've spoken about, that really needs a fair bagging from David Parker in that particular play. How is it there can be a boundary throw-in and then no Carlton defender between that boundary throw-in and the goals, which are some 50 metres away? Schwarz, a clear run onto it, finish off for his third.
15 points the Demons lead by, and they deserve to, because they've dominated this quarter as Andrew McKay goes forward. Tommy Alvin the flyer. Melbourne look fresher, they look quicker. But Carlton are at top side, they'll come back. Here's Andrew Obbs receiving from Glenn Lovett. The kick goes straight to Spalding. Spalding bombs it in long, up towards half forward. Here's the Blues with a big chance here. Fraser Brown taps it out to Lynn. Still Fraser Brown. Tries to hook it back. He should have handballed to Gleeson. He went for another miraculous one and puts it out on the full.
It can often happen in this sort of position where an individual player decides he's going to do it all on his own and at times lose sight of his teammates around him. Perhaps Fraser Brown should have found Tony Lynn with a quick hand pass there.
Kick by Steve Phoebe. Carnahan. Charles tied him up pretty well there. Excellent. The Melbourne members appreciated that. I tell you, who'd be watching this nervously would be the Hawthorn players, because if Melbourne win this, out go the Hawks.
Most definitely, Drew.
Soccer forward. There's Steve Phoebe. His twin brother Matthew takes it off him. Kicked by Matthew, the centre wing. Schwarz, who kicked the last goal. That was a kick and hope. Silvani leaves line. Spalding, Dean. Looking a bit ragged, Carlton. Koutafidis takes this mark. Play on, says the umpire. Charles with his pace. It's a great advantage. Well done by Charles. Schwarz, ordinary looking kick. Missed Lovett. Hannah
will come back. Oh, he put it on the ground. Umpire gave him the benefit. Here's Schwarz. Breaks the tackle. Well played, David Schwarz. Now Tingay centres the ball on the left foot. A big chance for Steins. He can't mark. No free kick. He races after it. Silvani. Was it in his back? No. Silvani lopes away. Handball over the top. The Blues might get out of jail here. Sexton, a long kick. There's no one there. Oh, pushed out was Cook. Definite free kick. Pushing the back to James Cook. Now he's a pretty long kick. He'll have to kick it almost 55 metres. So James Cook. He kicks it short. It's a poor kick. Andrew McKay's got it. He's caught. Gets in a hand pass. Gee, the Demons are doing well down there in defence. They've got the Blues covered down there. And they lock it in again for a bounce.
Not a good choice there by James Cook to go short to Greg Williams on the lead when he had Kernahan back in the square. You need to be able to put the pressure on Melbourne here and have the ball in your own 10-metre square. Kernahan was there for that reason.
Demons by 15 points, close to three-quarter time. Koutafidis still going. Very high kick. High, wide, not all that handsome. Punched by Matthew Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe was good. Brett Lovett. Breaks one, breaks another. On his own up here is Todd Viney, 50 metres out. He's got Charles going past. Viney, short passes for Schwarz. Well, it's across the ground, it's still 50 metres out. Schwarz goes for a run, goes for goal! In the goal square, Charles, and he kicks his fourth. Well, they're looking pretty impressive now, leading by 21 points.
And there's some telltale signs for Carlton just in the moments. I mean, Carlton on a historical basis have always prided the third quarter as being their premiership quarter, and many great wins have been based upon that. But in this particular position here, Melbourne are the ones who are making the ascendancy. They've got the run and they've got the use of the ball. They're looking very, very good.
68 to 89. Let's see if the Blues can come back. Sean Charles again goes forward. Hannah puts himself in front. Can't mark. It's a loose ball. Todd Viney. Hand pass back. Here's Garry Lyon from 40 metres. The captain goes bang. Thank you very much. It's another one. Brilliant display by Melbourne, and Carlton look very, very slow and tired.
They do, Peter. Their heads are down. There's lots of hands on hips just at the moment. David Parkin is going to really have to pull something out here. Neil Barber has done very well today in his coaching. He's showed a lot of confidence in his players. We had shots of him on the screen where he didn't look all that convinced about what was going on, but he's stuck with it. Now that he's got Sean Charles in the centre bounces, that one has made a very big impact on the game.
Close to three-quarter time, 2.25 minutes left. And this has been a 9-goal turnaround from 26 points down to 27 points up for Melbourne. Kutafiti's short pass. Gleeson drops the mark.
Well, he got in the way of his teammate then.
It was meant for Cook, yeah.
That's right.
And Primke's done very well. Neil Baum knew all about him. Played for the Eagles in South Australia under Neil Baum.
Well, a mighty effort this by Melbourne. There's no doubt about it. Here's Tony Lynn trying to crash his way through the pack. I tell you what, they've badly missed Bradley. Badly missed him around the centre of the ground with his breakaway moves.
These conditions would certainly suit him. If he was playing on the wing or at ruck rover, he would have found space where Carlton players haven't been able to today.
But Melbourne been far too good in this quarter. They should be further in front, in fact. They've been very committed. Here's James Cook trying to handball it back. Fraser Brown can't trap it. And over the line it goes with just over a minute of play left of three-quarter time. A huge task for the Blues.
Well, Carlton has kicked just 1 goal, 1 in this quarter. Melbourne 5-6. Clean possession, Kernahan, then lost it. Williams. And you can point a little bit of a bone at Greg Williams. He's been kept to 11 possessions, and that's way below quota. And you stop Williams, they lose the game.
Drew, there may also be the question mark. I mean, how ill was he last week? And he may still be carrying some effects of that, but he hasn't been up to his level of performance today.
Well, if he had a cold like I've got today, I can understand him missing. He should have missed about a month, I reckon.
So a throw-in, 40 metres out from the Blues goal. Gee, they could do with one before three-quarter time. They've got 40 seconds. Kernahan. Gleeson, Kernahan, a quick kick. Down towards Cook. He went without it. Primke has been good since coming on the ground. Neats. Andy Lovett. Tingay. Oh, he dropped the mark. Oh, here's danger. Because Christo around the corner on the left foot. A brilliant snap, Christo. A great goal. Well, the halfback flanker has kicked the ripper. And Carlton come back.
And to say that they need it would be the understatement. This was, it was a bit hard on Andy Lovell here. He hits the ball perfectly to Tingay, and Tingay drops what he should have taken. Parkin had earlier made the move that Christo had gone down onto Tingay with Hannah going back to half back, and Christo on that left foot made him pay.
Whitehead's come on the ground for Carlton. Mitchell is back. Alvin out of the middle. Lovell has been superb for Melbourne. Obst. Raking kick to half forward, but straight to Sexton, who takes the mark. Last few seconds in the third quarter. Kick by Sexton. And there's the siren. A quarter dominated by Melbourne, and they should have actually kicked more than they did. But they ran away from Carlton in that turn and were fantastic to lead by 21 points at the last change. And I think people who thought Carlton, if they weren't odds on, were certainly premiership favourites, are having a rethink. And there's Craig Bradley, unfortunately, having a stretch in the grandstand rather than being out there. And David Schwarz kicked a goal there, 3 for the game. Lovett kicked a goal, 3 for the game. Sean Charles kicked a goal in that quarter, 4 for the game. And Neil Baum's boys have a pretty handy lead, 14-11-95 to 11-8-74. Watching on nervously, because if Melbourne win, out go the Hawks.
So the umpire that bounced it to start the final term. Melbourne in the ascendancy. Can the Blues show that they're a top side and come back? There's Mitchell. Well, I know it's Hogg behind the play now. Mitchell had the ball, but Hogg must have been interfered with in the pack. What Carlton need is 1 or 2 very, very quick goals to put the pressure on the Demons. Here's the kick down to the forward line. The marker's dropped. Here's a hand pass coming further afield. That's Norrish getting out a hand pass. Matthew Phoebe. Now Sean White, the chip pass, and he finds Todd Viney at half back. Viney, been a good player. Matthew Phoebe to the half-forward line. Schwarz and Sexton. Hannah comes in to lend a hand and takes a great mark.
Yes, Mill Hannah, 10 marks and coming up for his 16th disposal. If he gets rid of it, McKay floats one back to Silvani. Lucky old kick onto the chest of Mitchell. To Alvin. The Blues need some run up the middle. But standing firm in defence is Stephen Phoebe. Kick by Steve Phoebe to Charles. Sexton has the height over him and beats him. But Charles comes back into the contest. He's got the pace. Can't beat Mitchell's tackle. Sexton again over the head of Ratton. Brown, they're going round in circles, the Blues. They have the players. Williams.
Greg Williams goes inside with a hand pass. Hogg, a further hand pass. Tommy Elvin races in the goal. Was it touched? Yes. Oh, Pimke. It's a lifesaver. Right on the line, he has touched it.
I fancy Alvin not giving that some elevation. He was only about 35 metres out.
Well, Carlton are kicking very poorly, actually, around the ground as well.
And here's a man on his own, Stephen Phoebe. Brett Lovett up at centre wing. Leaves it for Schwarz. Lovett goes on. Here's Lovett, unmarked at half forward. Centering kick. Pike is there. And Charles, he's a danger man. Oh, ripped away by McKay. Now the turnover costly for Melbourne because here are the Blues in the middle. Oh, Mitchell, you would read about it.
Well, Carlton go forward again. Good mark, Sean White.
Well, Melbourne voting very well here. They haven't scored yet, but they're right in it.
Matthew Phoebe. Gee, they're making some Blues. Carlton, you cannot afford that either. Silvani thumps it down. That's a good punch. It finds Hannah. Hannah's trying to break the tackle. He does so. McKay, further afield. Mitchell. Now Hogg. Hogg breaks the tackle. It's an ordinary hand pass. But Christou runs onto it on the left boot. A one-out contest. Who's there? It's Kernahan at the back with Primke. But Primke's got backup support from Stephen Phoebe. And away they go, the Demons, through Andy Lovell.
And he's knocked over after he got rid of his kick. Umpire coming in and having a word with Cook. A relayed free up the ground. So it's taken by Neitz. Up to Schwarz. Sexton does well. McKay, always a superb player. This time the hand pass misses Sexton and goes out of bounds. McKay, 21 possessions.
Carlton are doing tired things, Terry.
They are. They haven't got any sharpness or crispness about their play in any component whatsoever at the moment, and particularly in the real aggression in close. I think Melbourne have a sniff of victory and are really going for it here.
Good play by Sexton then. That was brilliant play to get that to Williams. It looked like it was going to roll out of bounds. Here's the ball over the back. Carlton try to get it out there. Desperate Melbourne. There's Cook getting it towards a little fella, Mitchell. And it's a free kick going the way of the Demons.
Yes, against Tony Lynn.
It's Tony Lynn. And it'll go to Phoebe. And I'll tell you which one it is after he kicks. I think it's Steve Phoebe this time. It is. As he brings it towards half forward. Sexton at the back. Having a good battle down there. Silvani, a long hand pass. The Demons through Brett Lovett. Here they come again through Lyon. Now Tingay as it's smothered off the boot. A vital couple of minutes coming up here as Ratton gets it back to Sexton. Look at the Demons come crashing in. Well played Fraser Brown as he tries to beat one too many and he's brought the ground by Tingay.
Jim Steins, I think it is, down for Melbourne.
Steins is down and Irving went straight to big Justin Madden and remonstrated very vigorously with him.
And Viney as well. Viney, so there's nothing happening on the scoreboard at the moment. Melbourne's still leading by 20 points. Oh, Pike should have marked that one. Dean. Will somebody stand up and grab this game?
Carlton are fumbling.
Carlton free, taken by Hannah. Alvin. They do look tired on the big MCG. Through Dean to Silvani. Short pass to Cook. Too far out to score. In the centre square. He goes very wide. Stephen Phoebe's there. The two Phoebes have been terrific.
Kernan was one out in the goal square. Why wouldn't you kick it down there? Here's Dyson. Well, to half forward, Garry Lyon. Good mark. Off he goes. The Melbourne captain kicks long. That's the way to do it. Down towards the square. It's touched. What can they do? Here's Glenn Lovett. A hand pass back. They've got a big chance here. Here's Pike. A quick kick in front of goal. Still a chance for Schwarz, but it's thumped through. And in fact, it hit the behind post. So it'll be a throw-in deep in that forward pocket for the Demons. Carlton have had heaps of chances. It was shocking play by Cook a moment ago not to kick it long to the square.
When you have a player of the calibre of Kernahan in the goal square, you've got to go there. And in the position that Carlton are in, they cannot afford not to be direct at the particular point in time.
Well, Andrew McKay handballs it well. He's handballed it straight to Andrew Obbs, who has missed the sitter, and he holds his head in shame. But the minutes are ticking down. 14.5 minutes left. 14-12 to 11-9, and Carlton don't look like catching the Demons.
I think Parkman's got to look at Justin Madden just at the moment. You know, he's playing in forward of the play. He's not getting back to assist his defenders. I think there needs to be a change in that particular tactic.
Alvin, short of centre wing. He looked for Hogg. Tingay was there. Melbourne had the numbers. Schwarz, short pass. Viney, another short pass. Uncontested is Pike. First goal of the last quarter, and a very big break to the Demons. Gee, you'd like to be on them now.
You would, and you wouldn't like to be a Hawthorn supporter at this point in time either. But Melbourne really doing everything that's possible here now. This is their first score for the quarter, but that does not indicate the amount of work that they've put in. They've been extremely intense in everything they've done, and they deserve to be the first scorer of this quarter.
Well, look at their forward line. Charles has kicked 4. Pike has kicked 3. Glenn Lovett's kicked 3. Schwarz has kicked 3, and Lyon's kicked 2. So it's been a very even performance. So Ratton.
Todd Viney being sent off here by the blood rule by the look of it. The umpire has to wait until the change is made. There'll be Hopgood coming on and Obbs coming off at the same time, is it? For Hilton.
So Andy Lovell with a grin on the face.
Parkin also tossing his side around. Tony Lynn's gone back onto Sean Charles, and Tommy Elvin coming out, which I think is a good move to get some run going through the midfield.
So Madden and Steins. Madden with the left hand. Carlton try and crash through. It's a hole in the man decision to Matthew Hogg. They need goals. They need them quickly. Here's Elvin. Fraser Brown. Oh, Melbourne players coming from everywhere. Sean Charles. Oh, Phoebe gives it across to Tingay. Tingay long. And a good diving mark, and it's taken by Steve Silvani.
Told to play on Silvani. Alvin. Oh, haven't they dropped some sitters? This is unbelievable. Sexton goes off the ground. Melbourne looks certainties at the moment. Here's Whitehead. Took a long time. Play on, says the umpire. Brown. Norris got him, holding the ball.
They're rattled, Carlton, unfortunately. Fraser Brown just giving a demonstration there of he's losing personal control. If they're going to come back into it, each individual player has to take stock of what he's about and not get caught up in an emotion of trying to take Melbourne on in any other shape or form. And he's the man at the moment. He's been tremendous all day. Peter Dean certainly has had his hands full.
Off he goes, a low trajectory kick. It's a beautiful kick, and guess who's marked? There's Jeff Hilton, who's just come on the ground. And if he kicks this, goodbye. But he's not going to have a shot. He's going to transfer play to Pike, who's directly in front. And Carlton, I reckon, are gone. If he kicks this, they look slow, they look tired. And I don't know whether the MCG is their ground.
If he kicks this, everything comes back to Horn Carlton from last year.
So Pike from directly in front. Kicks a goal, and he kicks his 4th. And the Demon supporters are ecstatic. A top performance this by Melbourne. 16-12, plays 11-9.
And so Melbourne entered the game with nothing to lose, and they've played that way. What type of a frame that Carlton came in, I'm unsure. But what today has done is it's exposed the weaknesses that they had last year in the grand final against Essendon. They definitely lack pace. They haven't got leg speed across the ground for the MCG. And it's only been Kouta-Fettes who has found that.
Well, the deep. He's running riot here. Mitchell goes back. Lynn. Kick by Lynn. Cook is there. Can't take the mark. Kernahan interfered with White, but there was no whistle. Comes back to Sean White. Look at the Melbourne players unmarked on centre wing. Steins takes the mark. Carlton have kicked just one behind in this last quarter. Dyson. Kick by Dyson. Good effort. Schwarz is there. Looks pretty good when they go long to a tall marking forward.
They certainly do, and they've got a couple of the best in the business, Drew. And David Schwarz has taken all before him this year and is done extremely well. As Glenn Lovett comes off, a job well done, and Todd Viney returns to the arena.
They've got terrific mid-sized players, Melbourne, haven't they?
They have. They've matched up very well to Carlton. Admittedly, Carlton without Bradley, it's a different side, but Melbourne, you can take nothing away from their performance today.
Schwarz to become Melbourne's third player to kick 4 goals. Schwarz has kicked 1 in each quarter. Well, when they met in round 12, Carlton won by 27 points. Melbourne haven't beaten them for 3 years, and in a final, a lot of them playing in their first final, up they bop.
I'll tell you what, there is nothing between the top 8 sides, and a lot of people were cynical about the top 8, but really the top 8 are capable of beating each other on a given day.
Oh, it certainly is, and it makes you question whether the 6th side should get a second chance.
So back in the centre, 75 to 114. This is starting to become a bit embarrassing as Brett Lovett gets it to Viney. Those medium-sized players combining again down towards half-forward. Taken away by Peter Dean. He's tried very hard in defence. Kicks it wide, and he'll find Christou.
Raking kick by Christou. Well, Cook got one hand to it, not enough. Brown. Here's Mitchell. Short pass to Kernahan. And it should be a certain goal to the skipper, who had one little purple patch where he kicked 3 goals in about 8 minutes. And apart from that, has not done a lot. He's had just 4 marks, 6 kicks. It all looks too late. He's hit the post. Well, they've dropped simple chest marks. Kernahan's kicked a couple of shockers, and now Silvani's off the ground to further confound things.
Spalding's on the ground, Silvani off, and here's Paul Primke, bring it to the centre of the ground, thumped away. Brett Lovett, hand pass comes to Steins, that was from Todd Viney. Up towards half-forward, a good attempt by Schwarz. Taken by Hilton, good kick. Charles in front of goal with Lyon. Thumped away by Ratton. Oh, Garry Lyon's got it on the left boot. He hooks it back. Sexton and Charles. Charles still got it around the corner goes Charles. And in fact, I think it cleared the line. It'll be a throw-in deep in that forward pocket.
Been a good player, Sean Charles.
And what was great there was he never allowed the ball to be dead. The boundary umpire had to call it. He wanted it, regardless of where it had gone.
Here he comes. Snap for goal. Oh, great kick just offline.
He's a good player.
4 goals, 3. Sean Charles.
He makes you think he'd chase it into the grandstand just at the moment, Sean Charles. Whereas look, Carlton have got problems everywhere just at the moment. Silvani now being added to their injury list. There's not much going for the Blues at the moment.
Well, they have a double chance. They're in a semi-final next week, but they don't want injuries to complicate this.
They want to play better than this, Drew. This is Peter Dean on to Andrew McKay. McKay a floating kick to half-forward. Kernahan a good mark. He just hung in the air and took a ripper. Now, he's got to kick this. Well, I don't think they can win. The way they're playing, they have dropped a lot of easy marks today. The captain kicks for his 4th from 45 minutes. A shocking kick. I think this is out in the full. Oh, it's not Carlton's day.
That is unbelievable. Down on the boundary line, Dipper.
Well, Silvani is having his right ankle looked at. He's had it iced, and he doesn't look too concerned. So for the Blues, he might be back next week.
The kick in. Kernahan climbs again, can't mark. Neats, back to Steve Phoebe, back to Neats, but over the line. Of course, the other thing that can happen later on is if, by some fluke, Collingwood win over in Perth, then
Doggies go out as well.
Footscray go out as well.
But I'll tell you what, Melbourne, any final that's played here, they'd be hard to beat because they really do play the MCG particularly well. As we see Tony Lynn centering the ball, James Cook appealing for a free kick, umpire having none of that. Christo is in there, look at the Demons. Andy Lovell gets it to Primke. He eventually holding the ball, sent the umpire too long.
Yeah, he went for the handball first and then went for a kick. You can't afford to have that many actions while you've got possession of the ball. And I think that was a very good decision there by umpire Allen, I think it is.
And Adrian Whitehead, the interchange player who laid the tackle, will get the kick from 40 metres. Let's see if he can kick straight. There's the kick. Drifts to the right. Don't tell me that's another miss. It is.
There'll just be a lack of confidence right throughout the Carlton side just at the moment, Peter, and none of the players look as if they can attack their task with any degree of self-confidence whatsoever. I guess when you have a quality player like Kernahan missing relatively easy shots at goals, that has got to influence everybody.
Kick by Dyson. Here's Kernahan, 20 metres in the clear. Centre wing. Big pack down here. Brown got a hand to it. Here's Christou. Back to Fraser Brown. Out in front of goal. Cook. Diving mark by James Cook. And the Blues surely will get their first goal of this last quarter. And it's taken 17 and a half minutes. But the way they've kicked, well, no certainty.
Since half-time, Drew, when you analyse it, they have been annihilated all around the ground. Carlton should have buried them in the third quarter. Melbourne should have buried Carlton in the third quarter. They had that much of the play.
Here's James Cook for his second goal. And gets it.
It's very hard to assess the Carlton performance just at the moment. As we have called, there is nothing that's gone well for them today. I think what David Parkin and his match committee have got to do is just take stock of it and just wipe this slate extremely clean. This has got to be one that they put away because they haven't got anything else in what they're putting up there today. This is their best side.
83 to 115 and... well, you've got to remember they came into the final series with a bad loss to Essendon in the final game. There's Brett Lovett. And like last year, the Swans nearly beat them at home in the final game. They won by a point at Carlton, that was too. Now in towards half forward. With no mark, taken by Sexton. Out wide is Christou. He's got backup support from Hogg, who's been very quiet, but great play by Sean White. That allows Matthew Phoebe. He's had a terrific season. On to Tingay. And Tingay, way out at half forward, brings it into Pike and hits him on the navel. So, Martin Pike is going to kick for his fifth. He's been a surprise packet up forward this year.
And that would be 5 goals 2 weeks in a row. He got 5 against the Swans.
Well, he started his career at Melbourne as a backman. This has been a bonus for Neil Baum. The long kick, but he's hooked it and out in the full.
And that's the thing, that all their goal scorers have come into this game in form and will go out with form. And David Parkin there on screen has much to contemplate, whereas Neil Baum, he's got everything going for him at the moment.
Well, they haven't cleared the area yet, Carlton. And the ball's out of bounds. It's only about 40 metres from goal.
And he still looks worried, Barmy. Coach.
Hasn't he had the highs and lows in one season? They won 5 in a row at the start of the year to top the ladder. Then they got in the horrors and fell down to about 13th, I think, at one stage they were. Just got into the finals in the last game. And they're going to beat Carlton, who finished second. Steins and Madden. Williams. Is it a shocker or just ordinary? Very quiet.
Greg Williams. Well, you've got to give credit to the guys playing on him, I think. I mean, we can always say a bloke's been crook a week ago and all that sort of thing, but I'm more inclined to give credit to the guys that are picking him up.
And also, Peter, without Craig Bradley in the side, that focuses more attention in onto Williams, where Bradley's presence dissipates that somewhat.
Well, here's Brett Lovett. Schwarz, gee, they're playing great football now. There's Hopgood. Gets it out to Lyon, into Charles. Here's Dyson. Dyson, hand pass back. Quick kick was by Tingay. Sean Charles pushed in the back. Yes! So Sean Charles is going to kick for his 5th. Steve Silvani looks on ruefully. He's tried hard. He did pretty well on Garry Lyon early.
Oh, yeah. Lyon has only come in with 2 goals, and I think, you know, in such an avalanche as this game has turned out to be for Melbourne, that's quite a good effort by Silvani.
And Pete, he's going for 5 2 weeks in a row.
Well, their forward line's been terrific. Sean Charles for goal number 5, right on 50. Keeps this one low. It swings back right through the middle. 5 goals to this talented young half-forward flanker, and the Neiman fans are ecstatic. 18-13 to 12-11. This is becoming a hiding.
And to think Melbourne have kicked 13 goals to 3 from 5 minutes prior to half-time. They've just taken complete control. And this man, Sean Charles, has been one of the best on the ground for mine. He's been there whenever it was necessary and finished it all off so very well.
Just under 4.5 minutes to go. Tingay for Melbourne. Here they go. Steins. Garry Lyon. Got some chances up forward with Pike and Charles, but he goes out wide to Hilton. That's Hopgood, and Hopgood marks about 45 metres out.
Haven't they got some beauties? Hilton, Tingay and Hopgood, all those blonde-headed guys at the same size.
Paul Hopgood. Oh, it's a good-looking kick. He's done it. No, he hasn't, just offline. Well, the Melbourne fans behind were pretty happy about it. That fooled me. 39 points the margin, and at one stage they trailed by 26.
Sexton's dropped the mark off his chest. Well, have they dropped some marks today? And this time has not dropped. It's Andrew McKay. He doesn't drop too many. He's on centre wing. Well, the Melbourne back line has been fantastic down there. Here's Bond. I would have left him on with his pace. And a beautiful kick to Cook, and hits him on the chest. James Cook, 30 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, you're right there, Peter. Carlton aren't going to get any quicker on the ground if Bond isn't out there. They need that type of pace around the flanks to be able to stimulate what their need really is for improvement.
So James Cook kicking for his 3rd. He started on interchange. He stabs at that one. It's a good-looking kick. And it's a goal. So he's certainly got some talent, young James Cook. But Carlton are very sensitive when you mention their lack of speed, Terry. I know they claim they're not slow.
That's true. I've seen interviews with David Parkin and Cole Kinnear, who both believe that last year was the grand final was just a day out, and perhaps that was so. I mean, over the last 2 years, this is their 46th game, and they've had 30 wins in that and only 1 draw. So over 2 years, they've been a very consistent side, but in the real crunch, they've been caught out.
3 minutes left. Brett Lovett. There's another goal coming up to the Demons. Tingay. His pass for Schwarz. Well, we saw him kick them from the boundary line in Sydney last week. He gives this one off, and Lovell takes the mark. Andy Lovell hasn't participated in this feast yet.
19 kicks and 8 handballs he's had.
For mine, he's been best player on the ground, Peter. I mean, he was tremendous early when it was strong and hard in the back for Melbourne, and has given the run that they needed. Well, and here he is running that far to get a shot at goal.
40 metres out, hooked it.
They've all done well, Melbourne, haven't they, when you look through their side? Hasn't it been a consistent... Blokes like Dyson and Matthew Phoebe, Charles, Stephen Phoebe.
And at the same time, all the Carlton players have dropped off. Koutafidis, who'd played so well with some 13 possessions at half-time, sits now with only some 18, so only a couple since then.
Ratton towards the half-back line. Oh, look at that for the big fella. Schwarz, great kick, a long kick to the pocket. Charles has it punched away by Brett Ratton. But their goal kickers, Schwarz 4, Glenn Lovett 3, 4 to Pike, 5 to Charles. Gee, that's a multi-pronged forward line. Garry Lyon 2. Here's Big Madden. Todd Viney's got it from the boundary line. Viney kicks and puts it out on the full. It hit the behind post.
And another thing about all their goals, Charles has kicked 5 in his first final. Pike has kicked 4 in his first final. And Schwarz, even though he's been around for 3 years, he's in his first final. He's kicked 4. Steins marks. Well, they're approaching the ball. Carlton are waiting for it. Here's Charles. No mark. But he's got a chance. Oh, well done. Pike! Was that a pass or a shot for goal?
He'll claim it's a pass.
Back he goes, right in front. Here's Dyson. Now Kevin Dyson hasn't kicked a goal. He's kicked 2 behinds.
Carlton aren't doing themselves much favours here with the way they're finishing this game off. There's players standing with hands on their hips. We've got Kudafides, hands on his hips, head bent down at the moment. All the forward line, looking very disconsolate as Melbourne go to really grind it in.
Dyson for Melbourne's 19th goal. Oh, he's missed it. Well, they have missed some goals in this last quarter.
Well, I reckon Melbourne will be hoping all their finals are played here and not at Waverley. Although they play Waverley all right too, but they just have had some great performances on the MCG. Here's Steins at the back. Well played, Jimmy Steins, always flattened. That was Williams getting in a hand pass. Then Mitchell. Around the corner goes Whitehead. Here's Andy Lovell for kick number 21. He brings it in towards half forward. Hilton. Jeff Hilton goes inside. Dyson fumbles. Brett Lovett, he's been a good player. Hopgood, oh, shocking hand pass. Straight to Henner. Here's Whitehead. Now Lynn sprints clear. Oh, an ordinary kick as he's tackled and straight out of bounds. Melbourne have been far too good.
Their whole structure has been, well, I mean, people talk about the possession game that Melbourne play, but when you've got forwards and they get the ball so well into their forward lines, the quality of Schwarz and Lyon and Pike and now Sean Charles, well, I think they've played the game very well today. Their tactics have been very sound.
20 seconds left. Down goes Phoebe. Here's Bond. And an open goal for Bond. Carlton's 3rd in this last quarter. His first goal for the day. Troy Bond, who played for South Australia this year after just 4 AFL games.
The thing is, Drew, I mean, that's Bond's first goal since round 14. Now, this is his 8th game since then, and it's his first goal. Now, if he's going to be a specialist half-forward flanker who's going to give pace and speed to this side in goal kicking, he certainly hasn't been able to deliver it over the latter part of the season.
Just 9 seconds left. Madden slaps it out. Mitchell in trouble. Williams gets it through. Gleeson looked like a throw. Finishes up with Mitchell. Siren beats him. He hit the post anyway. It should be no score. They've given the score.
Matters little at this stage.
Well, what a thumping. Melbourne beating Carlton. So that's the 7th qualifier, beating the 2nd qualifier. And the margin 27 points after at one stage Melbourne trailed by 26. Down on the boundary line, Dipper.
Thanks very much, Drew. Well on the starts of today. How do you feel?
We gave ourselves a big chance before the game, and you know, the boys put in well, and you know, what can I say? It was just a brilliant effort by everyone, especially our centre guys. Shut Diesel out. You know, that was our job, and we did it. So
now last week you just got into the finals, and now you're looking like favourites now.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a shake, and you know, a lot of people have written us off, but you know, we're still there, and we've got a full list, so you know, we'll give it a good shake.
And your own form's been fantastic the last 3 or 4 weeks. You must enjoy these big games.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not looking forward to getting back to uni with Parko. He might be a bit upset, I think.
Well done, mate. Well done.
David Schwarz there with Dipper. And boys, never before has a team that qualified 7th won a final. Because never before have we had a final 8. So Melbourne, 18-15, 123, beating Carlton 14-12, 96.